fucking way you just said that with your whole chest.
The NFC West is going to be absolutely insane in 2025. The defending division champs is the Los Angeles Rams. They gave the Philadelphia Eagles a run for the money in the playoffs last year. You got the San Francisco 49ers. They're healthy and they're ready to rock. The Arizona Cardinals out in the desert. Kyler Murray, is this finally the year we see him produce? And then, of course, you got the Seattle Seahawks moving on from Geno Smith, replacing him with Sam Darnold. James, what's the X factor in the NFC West in 2025?
The X factor for the NFC West is who on God's earth gave the 49ers the easiest schedule in the NFL. That is really it, because everyone else got a difficult schedule, but the Niners got the easiest schedule after literally choking away. Now, of course, yes, decimated by injury. Me and you, Spence, we make fun of some of their receivers because they get hurt all the time. CMC, turkey leg falling off the bone. We get it. And now that Brock Purdy's been paid, this is the time now. I've always been the first to be the only one on this hill is Kyle Shanahan just needs to get fired. It's done. Like this, his welcome has stayed a little too long in my book. So I think it's time for a new regime, a new freaking motivator, a new vision. But it really is the schedule for the Niners because, like I said, the depth on the defense is most of it's changed. The offense was really hurt. Can they get enough wins to compete with the Rams? Because in my opinion, this is my dark horse to win the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, is the Rams, and that was before, remember, Smith, we talked about it. That was my left field pick. And, Coop left to the Seahawks, but then they added Devontae Adams. They have a top 3 duo in receivers with Puka Nacua. Now, besides, really the X factor should be Puka Nacua's girlfriend getting a pregnancy test, but that's here nor say no. But no, it really comes down to can the 49ers compete with the Rams in this division? Because if they don't, I just see only the Rams making the playoffs. And then because I just think with what Seattle's done, I think they're going to just stay in that same level ballpark. They're not really peaking, but they're not really sucking. And then you have the Cardinals who Spence, man, I think we might need to give it up on Kyler.
I mean, if they're playing virtual reality football, Cardinals would be number 1.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on. Not us, come on, man. Tell Kyler, come on, man. If this was the case, homeboy should have just stuck with baseball.
He would have been athletic.
Oh, man. So, okay.
He would have had more games so that the stress would have been a little bit less compared to the amount of games in an NFL season. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
So this is how I feel about this division. My X factor, and James, I want to throw this back to you because it's directly, something that affects your take. Are you worried at all about this Matthew Stafford injury? Because I'll be honest with you, man. The vibes I'm getting right now are horrendous. At first, I thought it was just veteran day off, and they're taking it easy on him. He's all preseason. But they're talking about some of these treatments he's having to go do, and it's a back injury. He's like going on these cryotherapy chamber type things. Like, it's all weird. The thing I saw was like a health bus. I don't even know what that is, but they're having to get creative for Matthew Stafford's injury. That's alarming to me.
Yeah, no, you're right, Spence. It is alarming. I'm not going to lie. I remember, I think it was 2-3 years ago when they were like, Stafford's got this lingering elbow. And I was like, damn, he's never going to throw the ball again. But I kid you not, this guy is literally Iron Man. Like, he will find a way to play. And, it reminds me of the good old days where you had Eli start so many games. You had Brett Favre start so many games. And he'll find a way. He'll find a way to play for sure. But backs are sensitive. I know this is a sensitive topic for y'all because y'all saw the fall of J.J. Watt with all the back injuries during Houston days. So, yeah, back injuries are serious. But I think Spence will put himself on the field because I do think with the moves they're making, the defense is getting younger with Jared Verse. I do think this is like the window for the Rams. So I think Matthew Stafford will do what he can for this year and next year.
And then call it quits.
You think, because people forget, like earlier in the offseason, there were rumors of Matthew Stafford, leaving LA and going to potentially Vegas potentially
Yeah.
New York. Like there were rumors about that.
We remember that, yeah. And
I think
I
this could be
wouldn't
his
have.
last year.
His
I
last
think
year.
so.
But
At
where
this
would you want him to play though? Because there was rumblings that he was going to be a Giant, and it was just like, why would you want to go to that situation?
Yeah.
And it just never made sense. Now, of course, if I don't know, you want to be crazy and say, you know what, maybe the Vikings don't like what they see with JJ McCartney, and Kevin O'Connell gets one more crack at it with Jetta and Adam.
That's his quarterback too. That was where he came from before he went to the Vikings. He was the OC in Los Angeles. I just think the vibes are enough right now to sketch me out. The Rams would have been my pick if you asked me this a week ago, but I have a different pick. I'll come back to that in a little bit. Jiselle, where are you standing with these teams in the NFC South?
I think in a perfect world with no injuries within this division, it's supposed to be neck and neck between the Rams and the 49ers. We saw this past season, Cooper Kupp was out. That was a bust in my fantasy. I had to pivot so many times because that guy was freaking injured, man. I was, ugh. And then now he's out playing for another team in his division as a rival into the Seahawks. So we saw how the Rams were able to pivot and still win games, and I think they triumphed. We saw how the 49ers dealt with an injury with Christian McCaffrey and how that affected that team, and a bunch of other injuries with other players just stacking on stacking on stacking on stacking, and it just being a never-ending thing. I think overall the Rams have a better base than the 49ers if they are riddled with injuries, just based on what I saw last season. But I think in a perfect world, it should be neck and neck between who will win this division. It should be the Rams and the Niners. Hopefully, Brock Purdy is back. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey is back and a bunch of other key players in their arsenal. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks were the sleeper cell team in this division.
Oh man, you would rumble all of our haters. Damn, if Sam Darnold did it.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, I think, full on downgraded at quarterback.
I like Geno Smith.
I'm not even the biggest Geno guy, but I definitely like him over Sam Darnold. But here's the other thing too. I also like their run game a lot. I love Charbonnet and the Walker combination. And I think their head coach, Mike McDonald, coming from Baltimore, I didn't think he was ever like a great hire for them, but I actually was pretty impressed with the job he did last year. And I like a lot of their talent on defense. I think Devin Witherspoon is going to be a top 5 cornerback within the next few years. He's a very, very talented guy, but I think
they showed a lot of depth.
Yes, absolutely. But I think the Seahawks, for me, I think I'm going to put them 4 in this division. Okay.
So if you do that, does that mean we get to see Jalen Milroe play? Hey, man, you got to put him in if you're just going to be the 4 seed in the NFC.
That's my Tompkins alum right there, man.
Maybe. I would love to see that. I would love to see that over Sam Darnold. It'll be way more fun to watch. But I'll say this. I'm sketched out enough about the Rams that I think I'm going to put them in 3rd because I don't think Matthew Stafford plays the whole season. I think we get a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo, and we know that's literally, it's so funny that Devontae Adams ended up going to the Rams because he actively was like, get me out of here. I don't want to catch balls from Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. And there's a non-zero chance that week 1, Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing Devontae Adams passes in 2025.
The irony.
Again, if he ends up being fully healthy, it comes out and everything was just kind of like smoke screen, because we know, like James, you mentioned it, the elbow thing ended up not being much of a problem. If this back ends up not being much of a problem, I think the Rams win the division. But the vibes I'm getting right now are worse than they were with the elbow because 1, it's a back. 2, he's even older now than he was before and been threatening retirement. Again, the rumors.
It's the retirement for me.
It just feels like the Rams are fizzling out now, and this will be them going out, unfortunately sad, but as we know, that's life in the NFL. And
all it takes 1 bad sack and Stafford's out.
Yep. A lot of baby mamas out there think the exact same thing.
Oh my gosh. Don't do this now, Spence. Matter of fact, man, talk about your boy Kyler, man, the Cardinals, fan, before we wrap up this NFC West.
Well, I was going to say, Kyler Murray, I'm giving him the same ultimatum I'm giving Justin Herbert. This got to be the year. If he doesn't do it for me this year, I'm out on him. I'm putting Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray on the chopping block. I'm putting them in the gauntlet. They need to produce
good
wins this season, or I'm completely out on both of them. That being said, I'm a believer in Kyler Murray. I'm gonna do the exact same thing like I did with the Chargers. I got the Arizona Cardinals winning this division in 2024.
What? Ain't no fucking way you just said that with your whole chest.
I did. I like their defense. I love a lot of the pieces. Josh Sweat, Calais Campbell. I love their linebacking group with Mac Wilson, Buda Baker. He's happy he got paid. This has got to be the year that Kyler and company put it together. And here's the other thing too. Wide receivers making the rookie year to sophomore year jump historically is a big deal. And Marvin Harrison was a very disappointing rookie. But if he can take that next jump, like every wide receiver has drafted highly, they develop into their second year, we could be talking about a problem in the NFC with that offense. Because here's the other thing too. Yeah, they don't have another wide receiver outside of Marvin Harrison. That's fair. They have who I would say is easily a top 3 tight end in all of football, and that's Trey McBride. And if he starts scoring more touchdowns this year, look out. I think the Arizona Cardinals are a sneaky team. They've always been a darling for me. I'm going out sad with them. I'm riding them until they get me underwater. I'm going down with the ship, James. The Cardinals are winning the division.
Wow.
In 2025.
Spence,
Mom, pick me up. I'm scared.
Spence, hey, I'm not gonna lie. You sound crazy as hell. But if I look at the first 6 games, they can go 5-1.
Yep. And I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I know they paid him, but I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I don't like a lot of what the 49ers vibes are right now either. They're relying a lot of their offense again on Christian McCaffrey. And now I've always been someone that doesn't think he's super injury prone. I think he's had a lot of bad luck. But whenever Brandon Ayuk's recovering from an injury, Juwan Jennings, we don't know if he's even happy to be there. He might not, show up for a while. He might be out of shape. Ricky Pearsall, there have been reports that he's not looking too good for the 49ers. We know George Kittle's there. He's in that conversation for the best tight ends in the NFL, of course. He'll produce. But after that, the defense, not really too inspiring for me. I know Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, like this is a staple of an elite defense from years past, but it was years past. I'm not convinced they're going to be the same caliber of player in 2025. And what we saw from the 49ers last year, the last time we saw them, disappointing. And I think my prediction was this year is the year that Kyle Shanahan gets fired. I'm with you, James. I'm putting that down. But if they win the division, they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
So for that prediction to be true, I think I also have to pick them to not win the division. And so basically all my picks are coming back to the health of Matthew Stafford. I would change this completely if I knew Matthew Stafford was fully healthy. I want to put that out there. But with his health up in the air, I think the Cardinals have a chance to seize this division.
I'm not with you on that one, friend.
Man.
Who y'all got in the NFC West before we wrap it up?
I'm going Rams, Niners, Cardinals, Seahawks.
I'm going Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Okay. So me and Jiselle are polar opposites on the Arizona Cardinals. But y'all let us know in the comments. Am I smoking crack picking the Cardinals?
Yes.
Who's going to take this division in 2025? Let us know in the comments.